really not allowed to have nice things, Red Sox fans. Not only do the Red Sox lose in kind of embarrassing fashion yet last night, we've got trade rumors to talk about regarding Jarren Duran. We're going to talk about both in today's video. Let's just get out in front of it and start right now. Dennis Lin of The Athletic put out an article early yesterday morning saying that the San Diego Padres are interested in the services of one Jarren Duran. I'm not even gonna waste any time. Let's get into the quote. This is what Dennis Lin had to say about a Jarren Duran trade. He said, as the Padres face a daunting upcoming schedule and glaring holes at the bottom of their lineup, their list of trade targets again includes Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran, league sources told The Athletic. He continued, the Padres expressed interest in Duran ahead of the 2024 season before Jurickson Profar and Jackson Merrill joined Duran as first-time All-Stars. Now an underwhelming Red Sox team might consider Duran expendable, with outfielder Roman Anthony remaining tantalizingly close to Boston. Oh, man. I don't want to even talk about it, but we have to because this is the biggest trade rumor that we're probably going to have over the next few weeks. I don't think this happens with the Padres specifically. I'll talk about that here in a second, but Jarren Duran is not going to get sold easily if he is to get sold. I don't think he will get traded. I think the Red Sox are going to do enough to stay in the race and not be complete sellers at the deadline. And I don't think that a Jarren Duran trade is going to happen. Lynn did speak on 97.3 The Fan in San Diego on Monday after the article came out, and he basically said that it's going to have to be a really good return to Boston, which I would assume, and also alludes to the Red Sox are going to listen on Jarren Duran trade proposals. And he also talked about the fact that there might be some things behind the scenes that may push the Red Sox to make a trade with Jarren Duran. I think that's absolutely ludicrous. I don't believe that one bit. I don't know who Lynn's sources are, but I think that it is literally the polar opposite. I think that Jarren Duran is a great locker room fit. I cannot imagine that there are behind-the-scenes issues happening with Jarren Duran that would warrant them trading him. I find that absolutely ludicrous. It makes literally zero sense. So I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I mean, look, I'm sure Lynn is an incredible reporter, but he covers the Padres, not the Red Sox. And for him to, he says sources are saying that there's things behind the scenes. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. The Padres have some interesting trade chips, but I don't think any of them are enough for Jarren Duran. You've got Leo De Vries, who is their top prospect. You also got Ethan Salas, who's currently injured and has not played well in the minor league system. You've got Michael King, who from all stretches of the imagination, from all reports, is not on the trade block. And then you've got Dylan Cease, who would be a one-year rental and then goes to free agency. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. You're not getting enough of a return. And Lynn even said, he said, look, I do think it's probably slim because there's just not enough here. And Jim Bowden also talked about it. He said that he does not think that San Diego has nearly enough to trade for Jarren Duran. And I completely agree with that. So I do not think that Jarren Duran will be a member of the San Diego Padres. One, I think the reporting on behind-the-scenes issues is ludicrous. Two, I do not think they have enough of a trade package to lure in Jarren Duran. And three, according to these reports from Lynn, the Padres need a lot to try to continue to contend in the NL West, not just a left fielder. And if they would have to ship out a majority of their trade chips to get him, I don't think that's worth it. So I don't think while the Padres would love to bring him in, they don't have the trade package necessary to bring him in. Jim Bowden went on Foul Territory podcast day and did have an interesting quote. He said, it would not surprise me at all if Craig Breslow, the GM of the Boston Red Sox's plan is to trade Duran. I don't understand. I understand the trade him now while his value's at an all-time high, but this guy is a heart and soul of your team. He put, what was it? Did he go, 3 for 5 tonight? He went 3 for 5 with 2 runs. He was a huge part of your offense last night. In last night's game, like, Jarren Duran should be and is one of the cornerstones of your team and should be going forward. If you're going to make a trade Cedon. Trade Cedon Rafael. I do not understand. Like, I get the defensive value. I understand it. It is invaluable. I understand it. The bat's not there. Yes, he hit a home run last night. But we already know the reports from earlier in the year that the Red Sox were not happy with him and how he was constantly chasing first pitches. Like, someone will be willing to take a flyer on Cedon. If you are desperate to get rid of an outfielder, it should not be Jarren Duran. It shouldn't be. So it makes absolutely no sense to me why Jarren Duran would be the one to get traded. I don't know what Craig Breslow, if these reports are true that Craig Breslow wants to get rid of Duran so bad, I'm going to take the Rafael Devers line. What does Craig Breslow have against Jarren Duran? Because I do not believe the reporting that there is something going on in the clubhouse behind the scenes. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. So what does Craig Breslow have against Jarren Duran? It makes absolutely no sense. So trade Cedon, keep Duran. It's as simple as that. Are you trading your leadoff hitter or your 9-hitter? I mean, come on, it shouldn't even be a conversation. But you guys let me know in the comments. Would you trade Jarren Duran? Type Y for yes, type N for no. As you guys can tell, I'm all hyped up. I would not. I think he is one of the cornerstones of your franchise. I wouldn't do it. Won the damn All-Star Game MVP last year. He was the heart and soul of your team last year. He has continued to be a spark plug on the team this year. Have you underachieved? Yes, but it is not because of Jarren Duran. We're going to get into the other news of the day regarding Romy Gonzalez, Rafael Devers, Christian Campbell. Then we're going to recap the game here in a second. But guys, if you have not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Had a conversation with Marshall Green, the host of our Giants channel, yesterday. He was talking mad smack. I told him, I said, look, we're calling you guys out. You called us out. We're responding. We're going to get back with this sub battle. And Marsh basically laughed in my face. So if you want to prove Giants now wrong, if you want to prove the Yankees fans wrong, because Marsh is a huge Yankee fan, hit that subscribe button. We got to beat him in the sub battle this month. Don't miss out. Hit that big red button. All right, so we had some news go down yesterday in terms of roster news and injury news, and it actually had a lot of ripple effects that were really interesting. Romy Gonzalez got reinstated from the IL. He did his rehab start and everything and got called back up to the Major League roster. They sent Nate Eaton down. He was only up on the roster for a day so that he didn't become a free agent. Now he's back down at AAA, and Alex Cora feels good enough about the Romy Gonzalez, Abraham Toro platoon that Christian Campbell's basically not. He's basically been phased off of first base. Alex Cora said he'll still get some grounders here or there, but that's not our priority right now. He's going to be the second baseman, which I actually prefer. He's in such a rut offensively. Stop trying to introduce another position to him. It made sense when you were trying to bring up Marcelo Meyer, but now Meyer's up because of the Bregman injury. So I'm all for this. I have absolutely no problem with this. I think that having Campbell just focus on second, focus on getting back on the horse in terms of offensively is the perfect thing. And Romy Gonzalez in last night's game was one of the biggest contributors on the team. And he looked really good. And he's looked good this season. I think that platoon of Abraham Toro surprised all of us. He has. I think that platoon of Romy and Abraham Toro is perfect. I think it will last you to at least the trade deadline, and then if you end up being sellers and you don't end up buying, then it'll last you the end of the season if you're not a serious contender. So I'm fully on board for that, and I'm fully on board for not having to introduce another position to Christian Campbell. Are you happy that Romy Gonzalez is back? Just comment yes or no down below in the comments. I'm happy he's back. Nick Sogard was great. Nate Eaton, great. But I just don't have as much confidence in them as I do a Toro or now a Romy. And so I'm very happy that Romy's back up. I'm glad that the injury was not debilitating. He's out for months at a time. I'm happy. But you let me know, yes or no. Are you happy with Romy Gonzalez being back? One more thing, and then we're going to talk about the game. Maybe a bit of a non-story, but it is something to talk about. Rafael Devers did take grounders before the game yesterday. The first time he's done it, as far as we know, since the Toronto series, a month or so ago? Now, it wasn't shortstop, so maybe he was just trolling us all, but the fact that he was actually out there with a glove taking grounders, maybe that's a step in the right direction? I don't know. Something to monitor. We'll see if he takes grounders again today and throughout the next few weeks. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Is there movement in Rafael Devers potentially playing in the field once again? We shall see. All right, Red Sox lose 7-6. Man, this one sucked. Man. Where do we even begin? I mean, it's exactly where we should begin. Richard Fitz looked absolutely atrocious last night. Here's his line. He went 1 inning, 4 hits, 1 walk, 6 runs, 5 earned, 3 home runs. The first time ever at Fenway Park that an opposing team hit 3 home runs in the first inning. And just for reference, Fenway Park opened in 1912. That's not a record you want to break. And Richard Fitz looked bad tonight. Couldn't finish batters. That's really what it came down to. And Mike Trout, he couldn't find the zone, and then he left one right, literally perfect right middle, and Mike Trout took it over the monster. Welcome back, Mike Trout. Sucks that you're here. Joe Adell had a 2-home run day, which is ridiculous. I don't even know. Hunter Dobbins came in, gave you 5. Did give up that solo shot, which ended up being the difference in the game, but he did all that he could do. You got Nick Birdie in there who got hurt, I think. He finished out the inning, so I'm assuming he's okay. Luis Guerrero gave you a 2 shut at the end of the game, so that was great. But Richard Fitz, Tony Maz says it best. Momentum in baseball is only as good as your next starting pitcher. And if your next starting pitcher gives up 6 runs in the first inning and then gets pulled, that is the ultimate momentum killer. You came off a series win against the Atlanta Braves, a series that you desperately needed. You are coming in to a prime part of your schedule that is crucial for the rest of the season, where you're going to know within the next 2 weeks if you are a contender or you are a seller at the deadline. I genuinely believe within the next 2 weeks we are going to know how this team stands for the rest of the season. And you lay an absolute dud. You could not count on your starter. Richard Fitz looked horrible tonight. And I've been saying this. Hunter Dobbins should have stayed in this rotation. Maybe Fitz, maybe not for Fitz, maybe for Giolito or Bayo or someone, but Hunter Dobbins deserved to stay in this rotation. He did everything in his power to stay in this rotation, and he gave you a 5 tonight and looked excellent. It's inexcusable, guys. It is inexcusable. It's unacceptable. You cannot have that happen. This team takes 1 step forward and then 15 steps back, man. Losing to the Angels is a joke. It's a joke. And I hate to say it, it is all on Richard Fitz tonight. It's a team game. You left 8 runners on. You went 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. But my God, you scored 6. You got back within 1 run. You could have just crumbled and not scored any runs, but you rallied at the end of this game, and you just came short. Richard Fitz let this team down tonight, as is the case with the majority of the starting pitchers on this team this year. After Garrett Crochet, your rotation has been nothing short of atrocious. It's been bad. You guys let me know in the comments. Pick a starter. Type RF for Richard Fitz or type HD for Hunter Dobbins. Who would you rather have in this rotation going forward? It's Hunter Dobbins for me. It's Hunter Dobbins for me. And look, I love Richard Fitz, man. He's been good for you this year, no doubt. Did they rush him back up? Should he have done another rehab start? Who's to say? Who knows? But tonight he did not look good, and Hunter Dobbins deserves a spot in this rotation. Offense, I mean, look, you struck out 10 times. Not great. You had, Tyler Anderson look like an ace tonight? Not even really. Honestly, I say that, and then no, he gave up 5 runs. He owned you for a majority of this game, but then in the 5th, he kind of crumbled. Jarren Duran, he looked horrible in Atlanta. 3 for 5 tonight, 2 runs and a K. Jarren Duran's great. He's good. Shouldn't trade him. Just saying. What a concept. Rafael Devers did kind of let you down tonight. 2 crucial pop-outs with runners on. That can't happen. That can't happen. He did go 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run and a walk, but again, those 2 pop-outs with runners, that can't happen. Rob Refsnyder tonight went 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. He did strike out twice, though. You don't love to see that. Carlos Narvaez had a clutch hit, 1 for 4, but also only 1 for 4. Romy Gonzalez came back and made his presence known. He went 2 for 5. He had 2 RBIs. He made his presence known instantly. I believe that tied up the game or got the game within 1 to 2 runs to get the game within 1 at that point in time. Trevor Story 0 for 4, 2 Ks, not great. Sedon, multi-hit game, 2 for 4, 1 run, 1 RBI, looked really good. And Christian Campbell continues to struggle, 0 for 4 with a K. I mean, look, better from your offense tonight. I was glad to see that they battled. They put up 4 in the 5th. I mean, everyone counted out the Sox after the first. I tweeted, literally, I said, this game's already over. They're not coming back down 6. They put up 6. I mean, you lose, you leave 8 on. You had bases loaded at one point. You didn't score any runs. Like, that's going to come back to bite you, and you lose another 1-run game, but at least there was some fight. They could have absolutely bent over and let the blowout happen like they have in the past, and they didn't. So I do have to give them a little bit of credit tonight. Did they have all the great situational hitting? No. But you still put up 6. Most nights that wins you the ball game. But your starting pitcher flamed out and gave up that many runs in the first inning. Well, you got to win this series. I don't really think you have a choice. The last thing you want is to lose a series against a middling to bad Angels team and then have to go play the Yankees in the Bronx. It's the last thing you need. The next 2 weeks, I firmly believe this. We still have 100 games left to play in this season. I want to make that clear. I believe today was the 62nd game. I could be wrong. But you are sitting, these next 2 weeks are crucial. I think you're going to know in the next 2 weeks. Once the next 2 weeks is done, I think you're going to know. I think you're going to know where you stand for the rest of the season. And it's just no room for error. You've already lost the first game. No sweep. So you've got to win the next 2 to win the series. And if they don't win this series, that's unacceptable. Especially going to play the Yankees. You cannot. And I was worried about the Bayo game tomorrow. So it is what it is. That's where we're going to end it, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate y'all watching. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. And until next time, go Sox.